Now let's review the arrest of active phase of the stage 1 of labor. So remember, we have 4 stages of labor. We have stage 1 of labor, which is divided into a latent and an active phase. We have stage 2, which basically is the delivery of the baby, and we have stage 3, which is the expulsion of the placenta, and stage 4, which is not a truly stage, but is a 2-hour period of monitoring of the mother vital signs and vaginal bleeding. So stage 1 of labor, the latent phase, is where we have effacement of the cervix, and we have dilation of the cervix from 0 to 6 centimeters. And the active phase, this is dilation starting from 6 all the way to 10 centimeters dilation. And we have a specific rate at which the dilation occurs, which I am not going to mention in this video because it's going to get confused with the next abnormality that we are going to see in the next video. So, important, the active phase is dilation of the cervix starting from 6 all the way to 10 centimeters. A basic definition of arrest of active phase is that first we need to be in the active phase, so we already need to be 6 centimeters dilated, and arrest is that we are having no change. So sometimes it's considered as having no change in the dilation of the cervix or the descent of the head of the baby for more than 2 hours. Remember that during the stage 1 of labor we have a little bit of descent of the head of the baby from -5, -4, -3 stage or degrees of stage in the classification. We already reviewed that in other video. But if we have no change in dilation of the cervix or descent of the head for more than 2 hours, already being in the active phase, so already being 6 or more centimeters dilated, this is arrest of active phase, but going more into a definition of arrest of active phase, because this is more to give us an idea of the arrest of active phase, which is no changes for more than 2 hours. But a more specific definition of this is if we have no changes in the cervical dilation or the head descent for more than 4 hours, if we have regular contractions or adequate contractions, or no changes in cervical dilation or head descent for more than 6 hours, if we have irregular contraction, and so we are giving IV oxytocin. So basically, no changes in cervical dilation or fetal head descent for more than 4 hours with good regular contractions, or for more than 6 hours with irregular contraction, which the patient should already be with IV oxytocin. So more than 6 hours with IV oxytocin because of irregular contractions, no changes, is arrest of active phase. More than 4 hours with no change with regular contraction is arrest of active phase. So this arrest of active phase could be because the mnemonic are the 3 P's. So this could be because of the passenger, which is the baby. This could be because of the pelvis, which is the mother, or this could be because of the power, which refers to the contractions. So passenger abnormalities, it could be, for example, a macrosomic baby, or a disproportionate baby. Pelvis, this is if we have low, if we have not too much space for the fetus, not space for fetus. Here we should consider the different types of pelvis, or if we have, for example, a fracture of the pelvis. And the power of the contraction is, remember, we need to have contraction like every 2 to 3 minutes, which should last between 45 to 60 seconds. And the power of the contraction should be 50 millimeters of mercury, more or less. If we have a hypotonic contraction, these are contractions that are not, well, these contractions are low in frequency, low tone, so less than 55 millimeters of mercury, and low duration, or short duration. These are hypotonic contractions. What should we do if we have a hypotonic contraction? We need to give IV oxytocin. So, oxytocin. But what if we have a hypertonic contraction? A hypertonic contraction. Hypertonic contraction, this is a contraction that has more than 15 millimeters of mercury of powerful of pressure, which is also not good, but we will not have adequate frequency, so no adequate frequency or low frequency, and we will have short durations. So hypertonic contraction, this is also not a good quality of contraction. And here, what should we do if we have a hypertonic contraction? If we have too much of the contraction, we should give IV morphine to decrease the powerful of the contraction, because here the problem is not the power of the contraction, but instead is the quality, which is the frequency or the duration of the contraction. And if none of these has worked, we can also try to do amniotomy to try to stimulate the cervix, and if none of this has worked, we will do a C-section. So, how will this appear in the stand cord? We have the y-axis, which is the dilation of the cervix, and we have the x-axis, which is time. So a normal curve would be something like this. So we have dilation of the cervix all the way up to 6 centimeters, and then we start having an increase in the rate of dilation of the cervix. This is the latent phase, this is the active phase. But here we have a rest of the active phase. So latent phase has so far been good, so latent phase is the same. Then we arrive to the active phase, we should be in the active phase, so dilation of more than 6 centimeters. And we have no changes for more than 4 hours with irregular contractions, or more than 6 hours with irregular contractions and IV oxytocin. So we will have here, we have an increase in the rate of cervical dilation, but at some point we're stopped and we have no advance in cervical dilation for more than 4 hours or 6 hours with IV oxytocin. So arrest of active phase, as simple saying, is just no changes of cervical dilation or head descent for more than 2 hours, But going more into definition is no changes in cervical dilation or heat descent for more than 4 hours if we have irregular contractions, or more than 6 hours if we have irregular contractions, and then we're giving IV oxytocin. The causes of this are the 3P, which is the passenger, which is macrosomic baby or a disproportionate baby, the pelvis, which could be a different kind of pelvis, which is not the gynecoid, which is the normal pelvis for a woman, would be the anthropoid or the platypelvic pelvis. We could have a fractured pelvis or just simply decreased space for this type of pelvis. The powerful of the contraction, which should be 2 to 3 contractions every one contraction every 2 to 3 minutes. The duration should be between 45 to 60 seconds, and this should be to a pressure of 50 millimeters of mercury. If we have hypotonic contraction, this is a contraction that has low frequency, low intensity, and short duration. What should we do? Give oxytocin. If we have a hypotonic contraction, this is a contraction which has good intensity but is short and has no good frequency. Here we should give IV morphine. And if this does not work, then we can do amniotomy. Also at the same time we can do amniotomy. If this does not work, the last resort is to a C-section.